Okay, it is July 9th, and at the time I'm recording, Roku's up like 9% intraday. And in order to understand why it's moving up so much in the last couple weeks and why there's still more room to grow, you had to understand its price currently, what's justifying its price. So and what makes it attractive to buy right now. You don't understand earnings are going to be really good, and so everyone sort of understands this. The earnings were never in question here. The question was its relationship with its partner TCL. So what is TCL? TCL makes the TVs with the Roku operating system built in. If you look for a TV, you can look for any type of TV, whether it's like a shitty TV, or you can look for a 4K TV, 4K UHD. The TCL company produces the budget line for any type of TV you want. So like the lowest cost TV for the type of TV you want, whether it's 4K, whatever. That's what TCL sells, and it's extremely dominant in its category. And up until now, its only OS it would put into its TV was the Roku OS. So that's the partnership. So what happened this quarter was, well, there's like three things that happened this quarter in regards to TCL. First, TCL is a Chinese company, and U.S.-China relations have been going pretty much downhill. And then whenever this happens, you have tariff risk. Now, if you're a budget TV company, this is going to affect you more than others, as you might imagine. The second thing is, so previously TCL has just been putting the Roku operating system in because they need some sort of smart TV operating system to go with their TV. So they're like, okay, why don't we put Roku in? But what they've noticed is that Roku, the company, the value is gone like through the roof, and while TCL still has its pretty lame, it's pretty straight line, it's not growing too much. So what TCL wants is it wants revenue share from the advertisements that Roku sells on its OS. So instead of just like a licensing fee or whatever, it wants some ad share. So you imagine they're going to have to go to negotiations, and Roku is going to end up having to sacrifice some of its revenue to TCL. And you also have to understand Roku is extremely dependent on TCL. So if TCL wants something, you imagine Roku will eventually have to grant the request, because no other, well, I don't think there's not many other TV producers who have the Roku OS in them. And then lastly, well, what was it last? Okay, so and lastly, TCL this quarter, they started putting in TVs that don't have the Roku operating system. They have a Google Smart TV operating system. I think it's called like Android TV or something. So it's no longer exclusive to Roku, the TVs that TCL produces. So all of these will have extremely minimal or like not at all impact on Q2 2020. These are all like extremely legitimate issues that Roku is going to have to deal with down the line. That has been pressuring Roku downwards earlier this quarter. We're talking about May, June. That's why the price dips so much. But as we approach the end of July and the beginning of August, the conversation around Roku will go back to how much money it's making, how fast it's growing, and these are all rock solid. So what's going to happen around earnings is that there's going to be a complete narrative shift away from its troubles with TCL, away from its relationship problems, or the relationship between the United States and China, into sort of core advertising trends in the industry, sort of away from linear TV towards CTV, which is connected TV, smart TV, ad spend, and these are all extremely positive. So basically, the pandemic accelerated the trend significantly. You'll see a lot of commentary around this. You'll see a lot of commentary around the resiliency of CTV ad spend. I've read there's many reports out there which showed that CTV and social ad spend were extremely resilient during the pandemic, and I've definitely seen data regarding U.S. CPM from Facebook and others that showed just how strong digital ad spend was. So when this shift happens, I can easily imagine Roku going easily into 170s, 180s. If it didn't have any TCL overhang, it would easily be over 200. But because you had to factor that in, I imagine it'll settle around 170 or 180, which would be at all-time highs. So that's pretty much my thinking there. That's why I'm long. Let me show you some of my options positions now. All right, so this is just showing my own personal stake in Roku. I have options expiring in October. So I forgot to mention one thing. When I chose these options, I put them in October so that they occur after the election. My thinking was, at the time where I bought these options, Joe Biden was significantly, I guess, underpriced in terms of his odds of winning. And now as more people realize, he's probably the favorite to win. They'll also know that his center-left neoliberal trade policies are very favorable for companies that have relationships or are dependent on Chinese partners. It's not a political channel, so I'm not gonna say my own opinions on this, but the reality of the situation is, companies which had tariff risks, if Trump were president going forward, sort of go away if the center-left neoliberal gets in. So Roku will probably benefit from if Biden wins. That's why these were dated past the election. But again, I'm probably going to sell right after earnings. That's the plan. Right. So there's a healthy profit right now, but if you follow my Twitter feed, I was underwater significantly from the time I made my first Roku video. There was a point which these were down like 50% or something, and then they broke even for a long time, and now finally it's breaking out. So again, I'm going to hold all these heading into earnings. I'm 100% confident in earnings, and that's pretty much it.